Welcome back, FE12, Lunatic-Reverse 0% Growths, Chapters 6x and 7. I really don't have a lot of options for 6x. It is possible to turtle up and grind it out, but not when you need to get an unpromoted Sita to level 10, and when you're trying to get support points with your piece of crap avatar deployed. So I'm going to go ahead and run the same strat as I did on Hard 3. We'll reset for a low percent crit with Pala, then clear a path for Marth and a Rescuer, and get both Sita and Ogma to level 10. Sita does need the new +2 defense Cancer Shard to take on the boss. I don't end up promoting Ogma in this run, but I wanted to have the option. And you do indeed need a rescue boost with left, right, and down blocked off for Marth to get boosted forward. He spends 5 movement on the river, and then his last 2 movement on the gate. And that's all he's got right now. So that's 6x in one turn. Let's get to Chapter 7. The general idea of Chapter 7 is that there's a ton of thieves trying to run away with treasure in a big-ass forest to your east, and a mean, scary dragon is to the west. To solve the first problem, we're bringing a ton of Draco Knights, including the newly promoted Sita, because they ignore the movement penalty of the forest tiles, as well as just being strong enough and tough enough with triangle weapon advantage against all the thieves. We got a large bullion in Chapter 6, and by selling that now, I'm able to start buying things again, and we get 1 Draco Shield from the armory. That's the first one so far for Pala. But she's going to be fighting thieves. To deal with the dragon, we need some seasoned pre-promotes in the form of Swordmaster Sirius and Hero Wendell. Wendell has low strength in all of his reclasses, but his speed is very high, despite being like 80 years old. And so as a hero, he has enough stats for what we need, and I'll talk about it. Now, I need someone with enough movement to let Yumina rescue boost Pala here, instead of down, rescuing to the right. And otherwise, that unit doesn't do anything, so this is another great opportunity to keep building up those support bonds with the Avatar. And that was our first use of the Hammerne staff, bringing rescue back up to 5 out of 5 uses. Now, this strat on this chapter is a bit different from Hard 3, because with the reversal mechanic in play, Navarre doesn't stand a chance against the thieves. The thieves will mostly leave you alone as they try to escape, but for some reason this thief that starts near Navarre with the droppable Iron Sword is different from the others, and he will try to kill Navarre and Fina. So you could crit him with Navarre, theoretically, but then you would need 2 physics to counteract the reversal damage to go then kill the Master Seal Thief with Navarre. But that's going to put Navarre low again, and he's necessarily in range of a Hunter, which is just GG at that point. Pal, on the other hand, makes very quick work of these guys. At the start of enemy phase, the dragon spawns because we put Sirius close enough, but not close enough to get attacked, thankfully. Now this Hunter is going to suicide into Pala's Javelin, which Navarre equipped for her, and Pala is able to survive the huge effective damage from this Hunter. And I checked that Hunter stat at the beginning of the chapter. I don't remember why. He's not on the edge of a doubling threshold or a survival threshold, so I'm not sure what that was. I needed Wendell as a sword class for the big Devil Sword damage, and Swordmaster and Hero actually deal the same damage due to having 1 higher strength on Hero, but lower weapon rank. Now the difference for Wendell is the bulkiness of the hero. He would have been one-shot by this dragon as a Swordmaster. Sirius, on the other hand, picked a class with slightly higher skill since he needs to crit the dragon. Catria drops a save because I need another crit, sadly, on this Angelic Road Thief with my crit Forged Javelin, although in hindsight, I don't think I needed this one. I was just being overly stingy with my physic uses at this point in the run, so I could have just physicked with Militia and eaten the reversal damage with Pala. There's going to be some reinforcements in a bit, so these flimsy units down here need to be careful. And here I spent a dance to use a vulnerary, which is probably the only time that has ever happened in an LTC of this game. But it doesn't affect the turn count instead of using a physic, and yeah, we saved the physic. Now it looks like we're getting swarmed here in the forest, but like I said, these thieves just want to run away and avoid combat entirely. So we can take our time while Marth catches up. One Javelin Toss and one Steel Lance takes care of them with proper shard management. And again, we need to hide from incoming reinforcements from the northwest. And you can see the heroes now. They'll leave you alone unless you get in range, but that's why we can't let the thieves get too far outside of the forest. This mage is in range of Marth now, but even with max stats, he cannot one-shot Marth. Fina absolutely needs to stay outside of that mage's range, though. We get the Scorpio Shard now, which gives +2 speed when held. It is very good. And I decided that Palace Silverlance was getting too low on uses, so Arran is going to hand his over. Sirius finds a lovely new physics staff in the cave. So that dragon kill isn't necessary to beat the chapter, but it's definitely worth it for this physics staff. The enemies are closing in on us, so it is time to leave. Another Javelin plus Steel Lance takes out the last thief, easy peasy. Arran, Catria, and Sita, all being near death, tells us that we did a good job assigning damage and managing shards. Sita hands over the Killer Lance, which Pala just didn't have room for in preparations, so that she can kill the boss, with help from Navarre's save tile. It feels good to be critting with a 26 instead of like 7, and I like that this boss is a thief, that's pretty rare. So that's 3 routed crits in this chapter, although I only needed 2, like I explained, as opposed to the 5 crits on Hard 3, thanks to our beefed up Pala. A beautiful dance extension gets Marth to the gate, and we're out in 5 turns, which is actually the same as a Hard 2 LTC. And we got all the treasure, so we did a great job. Thanks for watching.